every county. This is your statewide newscast. Arkansas Today.
It is a long road to recovery for one woman whose foot was shattered in a hit-and-run accident. Good afternoon, I'm Mallory Brooks.
And I am Aaron Nolan. Thanks so much for watching Arkansas Today at noon. Kelly O'Neill is in Rogers to show us how a motorcycle group is helping ease this woman's pain.
Seeing her in so much pain and just screaming and crying, it breaks your heart.
Doctors say Julia Torres' daughter, Heather Green, may not be able to walk for at least a year.
Well, the surgeon in Rogers said in his 22-year career, he had never seen anything that bad.
This is where Heather Green was crossing when she was hit by a car running over her foot, and then the driver took off.
A crime was committed, and there's medical bills stacking up that's just going to be totally out of reach, and they need to be responsible for them.
On Sunday, the financial burden became just a little bit smaller, thanks to the help of the Osage chapter of the Arkansas Punishers Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club.
They have the kids with them right now, getting them their school supplies and school clothes and donating money to help pay the bills.
There's no words to express it. It's so exciting to see that these kids get what they need.
The Arkansas Punishers LEMC reached out to the family through Facebook because, according to one writer, it's just who they are.
There's times that we need help, and there's times people help us, so we try to reach out and do a return.
It feels good to know that there's people still like that out there that is so caring and will do stuff like that.
And police are still looking for the person responsible for that hit and run on July 28th. She describes the car as being a four-door silver or gray BMW or Mercedes and asks anyone that may have information on this incident to contact authorities.
It is back to school Monday, and parents found extra security patrols at Little Rock school campuses this morning after a teacher was robbed last week. 52-year-old Curtis Willis is accused of robbing the teacher in the parking lot of Booker T. Washington. It was Friday morning. Officers were able to find Willis by tracking the teacher's cell phone.
Some students in Saline County are starting their first day of school without one of their classmates. 16-year-old Olivia Brewing was killed over the weekend when state police say her Jeep went off the highway and hit an overpass pillar. Today would have been her first day attending Harmony Grove High School. Friends tell us they are finding comfort in the legacy Olivia leaves behind.
Everybody around her, she always put a smile on their face, always bringing them up. We'll always remember her and stay happy for her and know that we'll see her again one day.
Another Harmony Grove student died 3 weeks ago when playing Russian roulette. The superintendent says grief counselors will be at the school today.
Hundreds of Arkansans in Fort Smith received vaccinations this weekend for hepatitis A after a Red Lobster employee in Fort Smith tested positive for the virus. Nearly 700 people showed up to the clinic. The Department of Health says if you happen to eat at the Red Lobster in Fort Smith from July 19th to August 4th, you should get vaccinated immediately if you weren't vaccinated as a child. Officials say this case appears to be related to travel outside of the state of Arkansas.
It's just like the flu. With this particular hepatitis A, it can impact you quite a bit, so we just want to encourage folks to come and get their vaccine so they don't get sick.
Now, the Fort Smith case is separate from the hepatitis A outbreak in northeast Arkansas, where health officials say more than 80 cases have been reported and one death.
There's a chance your cell phone bill could go up if some county leaders have their way. There is now a push to double the fee on cell phones for 911 emergency response to at least 65 cents per month. Statewide, 911 centers receive more than 2.3 million calls annually. 90% of those come from cell phones. 911 directors say increasing the fee is a necessity because centers across the state are in need of major upgrades.
Whatever increase we get, we'll work with. That's going to be up to the legislators in Little Rock, but we'd like to see that fee increase so we can stay on top of that technology.
The Association of Arkansas Counties told lawmakers the increase would generate around $20 million a year. Researchers at the University of Arkansas receive a grant of almost $500,000 from the National Science Foundation. The funds will start a study of how nanoparticles could be used to fight antibiotic-resistant infections.
Candidates for governor will speak at a forum tonight in North Little Rock. Starts at 6:30 at New Hope Baptist Church. All three candidates will be there. The forum will focus on issues important for families and the future of children.
Ago today, Arkansas State Democratic Party Chair Bill Gwatney was killed. He was shot at the party headquarters and later died at the hospital. The man accused of killing him, 50-year-old Timothy Johnson, was shot and killed by police after a car chase.
Here's a look at what's happening around the nation and the world today. The president and vice president both traveling to Fort Drum in upstate New York to sign the John McCain National Defense Authorization Act. North Korean and South Korean leaders will hold another round of talks. This comes as the U.S. and other nations continue to push for Pyongyang to denuclearize. And Defense Secretary Jim Mattis arrived in Brazil on Sunday. He is there to discuss a range of defense issues, including mutual security threats.
And here's a look at what happened on this day in history. In 1961, East Germany closed the border between the eastern and western sectors of Berlin. In 1918, women were allowed to enlist in the United States Marine Corps for the first time. Opal May Johnson was the first woman to enlist. And in 1913, Harry Brierley invented stainless steel.